Coming up on OU Nightly, more voters face a potential life and death decision. Additional threats at Metro Public Schools, and OU expands its historic football stadium. This is OU Nightly.
Thanks for joining us. The Women's Outreach Center is hosting an event to educate students about domestic violence, abusive relationships, and sexual assault. Take Back the Night is bringing activist and singer Angela Kemp to speak about her personal experience. There will be a candlelight vigil and a march around Campus Corner. The event will take place on the South Oval tonight at 7.
Norman Public Schools are investigating a number of threatening messages written in bathrooms at Norman North High School. The first threat was written in the girls' bathroom yesterday and the second in the boys' bathroom today. The district was also notified today of a concerning image on Snapchat. No word yet on what exactly the threat was or any students responsible.
And today a hit list was discovered at Central Middle School in Edmond. The list was found that had 25 students' names on it. The student who created the list has been cooperative with police. Officials do not believe the student was going to do anything with those on the list, but will be disciplined in accordance to the school's district's policy. And a new bill for retired teachers may allow them to earn more income outside of school. State Representative Claudia Griffin has a bill that would increase the amount by $10,000 outside income to a retired educator and will still draw a state pension. Under existing state law, a teacher who retires from a public school system can earn up to $15,000 from a school or a school district during the first 3 years after retiring and still receive a full pension and benefits from the Oklahoma Teachers Retirement System. Well, with all that being said, it looks like the weather is finally starting to look a little bit more like fall.
I know. I love waking up to the cooler temperatures, but still can't shake that heat once you get into the afternoon.
Yeah, it kind of hits you out of nowhere.
I know it. Mandy, what can we be expecting? Are we going to be cooling up towards the afternoons now?
Well, for the next few days, we'll be a little chilly in the morning and then warm up again. Like you said, you won't need your jacket by the time the afternoon hits. And right now, we're in the 70s throughout much of the state. Lower 70s in central Oklahoma, 71 in Norman, 73 in Oklahoma City. But tonight, as we're heading through the rest of our evening, we do cool off rather rapidly. 8 o'clock, we're already down in the 60s. Now, we do have a little bit of a northerly wind, so it's going to feel a little cooler than that just because we have that cooler, drier air pushing through the state. And by midnight, we drop down into the lower 60s as well. Mostly clear skies tonight, so we will cool off a lot faster than we would if we had a little bit cloudier conditions. But coming up, I'll have more on our OU Texas forecast, possible rain chances, and unfortunately some warmer temperatures. Ladies, back to you.
Great, thank you, Mandy. The 10 Commandments Monument has been removed from Oklahoma City Capitol grounds. It was removed late last night in response to a court order that the monument was religious in nature, which violates the Oklahoma Constitution. The statue will be taken to the Oklahoma Council of Public Affairs, which has an office just south of the Capitol. And today, U.S. officials are struggling to explain an airstrike in Afghanistan over the weekend. And the global response is outrage. Dylan Jasna joins us now in the News Center with the latest on the investigation into this major bombing. Dylan.
That's right, Vanessa. The international community is expressing outrage after the U.S. bombed a medical center in northern Afghanistan. A Doctors Without Borders hospital in Kunduz was accidentally struck after Afghan forces called for air support from the U.S. At least 22 people are dead and 37 are wounded. Earlier today, a top commander in Afghanistan told Congress the airstrike was a mistake. And today, the Secretary General of NATO condemned Russia for violating Turkish airspace near the Syrian border over the weekend. He also expressed concern that Russia is not targeting ISIS, but instead attacking Syrian opposition and civilians. Russia denies any buildup of military activity in the country. And back here in the United States, the Bureau of Prisons says around 6,000 federal inmates will be released in the coming weeks. All of the affected inmates are drug offenders and are now eligible to leave prison after recent changes in federal drug sentences. Those inmates went through an appeals process to win their freedom. This marks the largest one-time release of federal prisoners in the U.S. That's what's happening around the nation and the world. Alicia?
Thank you, Dylan. We appreciate that. An Owasso police officer is facing charges for allegedly battering a man with the butt end of a shotgun during an arrest. Lieutenant Michael Denton was arrested after the incident was captured by the officer's body cam and a dash cam. Denton's attorney says the suspect Denton struck was armed with a knife and the use of force was justifiable.
All right, still to come, the world's biggest car maker may be falling off its pedestal, and it's falling pretty hard.
Plus, another car company could be driving away their own employees.
Plus, environmental journalists from around the world starting tomorrow for the 25th Annual Society of Environmental Journalists Conference. The 5-day agenda of sessions, tours, and exhibits around Norman will cover weather, water, and energy, among other environmental issues. Stay with us this month because OU Nightly will be bringing you special coverage of environmental issues around Oklahoma. And Lindsay Gomez joins me now with Money Matters. Lindsay, when you're an American, you're either a Coke fan or a Pepsi fan, but in Venezuela, it seems like it's swaying one way.
Just possibly. That is right, Vanessa. Pepsi is getting hit hard from Venezuela. The company reported a $1.4 million loss from its Venezuela operations. Pepsi is blaming this on the country's uncertain currency, bad economy, and political outlook. The company is writing off the massive loss and will continue to produce in the South American country. And construction on the Oklahoma Memorial Stadium is underway, and Sooner fans are buzzing with excitement. But they aren't the only ones who will benefit from this kind of construction. OU Nightly's Tyler Jones takes a look at other benefits from this expansion.
Walls are coming down and excitement fills the air. The newest expansion to Oklahoma Memorial Stadium began just a few months ago, and by the beginning of next football season, the south end zone will be looking a lot like this. But the added seats don't just magically appear. Dr. Bob Doffenbach explains how many jobs have been created from the construction.
That the impacts of construction spending in terms of jobs tend to produce about 50% higher total impact. So if you're talking 700 jobs, let's say, well, 50% higher would take you above the 1,000 level.
But the jobs that they created for this construction won't last long. Construction will finish up and the crews will pack up and move on. But the seats that they added to the stadium will have a lasting impact on the city and the university.
You get people coming from all over. Some of them spend extra time here, extra dollars in not just Norman, but Oklahoma City. So that's the imported part, which makes the big differential in the economic impact for the area.
The crews are hard at work getting preliminary construction done for the support beams, and once the final whistle for the season has been blown, they will move in and begin connecting the south end zone to the rest of the stadium. Tyler Jones, OU Nightly.
The American energy boom is finally showing some cracks from the crash in oil prices. U.S. oil production decreased by 120,000 barrels per day in September. That's close to 3.5 million barrels in a single month. This marks the lowest monthly output within the past year. This evidence has oil companies pushing the brakes after years of explosive production growth. The Energy Information Administration believes production will continue to dip through the middle of next year. And Volkswagen will have to make massive savings to cope with the huge cost of its emissions cheating scandal. Today, the automaker's new CEO delivered the news at a meeting in Germany in front of more than 20,000 VW employees. Volkswagen has set aside over $7 billion to deal with the problem, but the real cost is likely to be several times that amount. And we haven't seen a United Auto Workers union strike since 2007, but we could see one as early as Thursday morning. Fiat Chrysler employees are ready to walk off the job. The company proposed a new contract for its workers. The employees disagreed with it and voted to strike afterward. The UAW officially alerted the company that 40,000 workers are ready to strike Wednesday at 11:59 p.m.
All right, so bad news for some car companies.
I might need to stay up on Wednesday and figure out if that strike is really going to happen.
Yeah, absolutely.
It'll make quite an impact.
Thanks,
Absolutely.
Lindsay.
Thank you. And still ahead on OU Nightly, the National Defensive Player of the Week picks up national honors.
And Mandy Bailey is standing by with weather.
We're sunny outside right now,
but what about this weekend? I'll have your OU Texas forecast coming up next. Welcome back to OU Nightly. I'm Mandy Bailey, and this time yesterday we saw cloudy skies and it was pretty dreary. A good day to stay inside and read a book. Today though, sunny skies and a good day to be outside. Taking a look at the radar across the Midwest, not a whole lot going on in Oklahoma. A few just showers off in Kansas and Missouri, but other than that we are sunny and it is again a good day to spend outside. Temperatures aren't too bad overall for this afternoon. You probably won't need a jacket if you're outside at any point. Taking a look at that visible satellite, a few areas seeing patchy clouds this morning, but those are gone in Oklahoma. Off to our west, you can see a few areas of patchy clouds as well, but not a whole lot going on across the U.S. So it's been a pretty quiet week and day so far, but that's going to change as we head throughout the rest of our week. Rain chances do return Thursday night into Friday morning. Now, I think we won't see a whole lot happening Thursday night. It'll be primarily Friday morning and Friday afternoon when our good chance for some rain in Oklahoma does pop into the forecast. Now, taking a look for our Friday, as we're heading down to Dallas, you will have to encounter a little bit of rain heading south. Thankfully, this is going to stay pretty low, a 30% chance from Oklahoma City down south to the Red River and into parts of Texas. Now, farther to our north, though, if you're traveling from Kansas or even northern Oklahoma, you're going to see a little bit heavier chances of some rainfall possible, but I don't expect a washout by any means. Don't cancel afternoon plans if you're sticking around here on Friday. It'll be pretty isolated and they're going to stay pretty low. If you're going to the fair on Friday down in Dallas, it's going to be a pretty nice day to go out. 80s through most of our day. The fair is open until 10 o'clock, so if you get down early enough on Friday, you do have an option to check that out before our game on Saturday. 78 by 9 o'clock. Winds staying from the north, so it's going to feel a little chilly for our Friday afternoon, but hey, it's nice fair weather. Grab a hot dog and enjoy it. Now, come game time, it's going to be a little warmer than we have seen here in Oklahoma recently. Kickoff 75 degrees, and by the time we're reaching that fourth quarter and hopefully winning, we'll be in the 80s. And as you're heading to the fair after the game as well, we're going to stay in the lower 80s. We won't be heating up a whole lot after that, so you won't need a jacket. Now, something to note, if rain chances do pop into the forecast from here to Saturday, the fair does not allow you to bring umbrellas into the stadium, so you're going to have to bring a poncho or those rain boots with you if rain chances do return into the area. At this point, I don't think we're going to have to worry about that, but keep that in mind if you're headed to Dallas this weekend. Lows tonight are going to be pretty chilly and not a whole lot of change across the entire state. Upper 50s for most of us, 58 through really most of the state as well. You're going to need a jacket if you're out and about in the morning, heading throughout the rest of our day in the lower 80s by that 4 o'clock hour. And so it's going to warm up fast. Again, if you have that jacket in the morning, you're not going to need it by the afternoon. And throughout the state, we're going to stay pretty much the same in the lower 80s, a little bit warmer down in southeastern Oklahoma, Idabel at 87 degrees, so that's going to be our warm spot of the state, but not a whole lot of change for our afternoon tomorrow. And that 7-day forecast showing, well, pretty boring temperatures, I guess you can say, as we're heading into the weekend, but that's when those rain chances really do start to pop back into the forecast heading later in the week. They are low, not a whole lot of an issue as far as any washout conditions are concerned, but as we're heading into Saturday, Sunday, that sunshine does return full force. A cold front coming in Thursday night does drop our temperatures down a little cooler on our Friday, but we do have some nice fall weather for a little bit until we warm back up.
Yeah, that's right. But I don't feel bad. Well, I do feel bad for the people in Texas who are going to have that really hot weather at the game.
Yeah.
Yes, it's going to be a little toasty compared to what those cooler temperatures we have seen here, but it shouldn't be bad by any means.
Well, as long as it doesn't rain, then I think we'll all be happy.
Yes, agreed.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much. Coming up on OU Nightly, we have Courtney Boggs standing by with sports. Courtney?
Thanks, Alicia. Eric Stryker stopped by Sooner Sports Pad last night. I'll have more on that. Plus, find out why everyone is talking about Seahawks linebacker KJ Wright. Sports is next. Welcome back. I'm Courtney Boggs with OU Nightly Sports. Linebacker Eric Stryker was named Auto Nation National Defensive Player of the Week earlier today after his stellar performance against West Virginia this past weekend. Despite his slow start during the beginning of the season, the senior lived up to his reputation on Saturday with a career-tying 12 tackles, 2 sacks, and a forced fumble. Stryker's sacks increased his career total to 18, the most for any linebacker in OU history. Even with the demanding schedule of a high-profile student athlete like Stryker, he still made time to come on Sooner Sports Pad last night. Stryker took part in the newlywed game with teammate Zach Sanchez and also fielded questions from the hosts Mason Prince and Haley Huey.
I just, go out with a mindset, each game to, do my job and try to be the best, for my team. And, when you prepare right, and you give it all you got, stuff like that happens. Not that I'm thinking about it, I'm just out there just trying to give my all and just play the game to the best of my ability.
Well, you obviously did have a great game against West Virginia. What was different for you this game?
Well, Big 12 play, and, here we go with, it was 9 straight, now we got 8 straight, and you kind of want to be, at your best. So you prepare, a little bit different, and I just, took a little bit better steps than I did in the first week.
Right.
And football isn't the only sport holding it down on the field this fall. The OU softball team will face North Central Texas College this Wednesday for Game 3 of their 8-game fall schedule. The Sooners outscored their opponents 32-1 during the first 2 games of the season. And volleyball is looking to even their record at TCU on Wednesday. The Sooners are 7-8 overall and 1-2 in the Big 12, while the Horned Frogs are tied at 2-2 in the conference. The game is scheduled for an 8 p.m. start in Fort Worth. The Seattle Seahawks finally escaped their losing record after defeating Detroit last night. In the second, Russell Wilson finds Doug Baldwin for a 24-yard touchdown pass. Seahawks lead 7-0. Fast forward to the fourth after Cam Chancellor knocks the ball out of Calvin Johnson's hands just before the goal line. Seahawks linebacker KJ Wright with a controversial play knocking the ball out of the end zone. What should have been called as a penalty was ultimately ruled a touchback, and Seattle would regain possession and go on to win 13-10. And tonight, the MLB postseason kicks off with the AL wildcard game, a win or go home scenario. The Houston Astros and the New York Yankees will face off, 2 teams that snapped postseason dry spells this year. The game can be seen on ESPN at 7 o'clock. Finally, the NBA preseason is underway, but the Thunder took part in a team scrimmage Sunday at Newcastle High School. During pregame warm-ups, Russell Westbrook dazzled the crowd with this insanely acrobatic dunk, reminding everyone just how athletic he really is. I'm really interested to see the dynamic with KD coming back this season. I mean, Westbrook was kind of the star last year, so it'll be interesting to see how they work together now that Durant is back on the court.
Right, and preseason starts this Friday, so we'll keep our fingers crossed and hope for the best.
Yes, of course.
I'm going to be buying my ticket. I told you guys last week I need to get myself to a Thunder game.
Yes,
so this might be the time.
They really are. A lot of fun.
Yes, indeed. Thanks, Courtney.
Still to come, a picture is worth 1,000 words. Facebook now giving you 7 seconds worth.
I'm Anna Whitney at the OU Nightly Update Desk. Oklahoma literally separated church and state last night when workers removed the controversial 10 Commandments monument from the Oklahoma State Capitol grounds. In a press conference this afternoon, Governor Mary Fallin said she was very disappointed the Oklahoma Supreme Court ruled to have the monument moved. The president of Oklahoma's Council of Public Affairs stressed the OCPA will only be providing a temporary home for the statue and hopes it will soon return to the state capitol grounds. That's it. Back to you guys at the desk.
All right, thanks, Anna. Sometimes you don't get to display your real personality on social media. Now you don't have to with just a single picture. Facebook released a new video profile feature this week. The social media giant hopes this update will allow users to promote their creativity. OU Nightly's Bijan Hosseini tried it out today.
Hey guys, I'm updating my Facebook video, a new feature that was released today. I'm on the Gaylord balcony with Madison, and it's a beautiful day.
Right, it's important to keep in mind the new feature only allows you to record 7 seconds. Bijan got cut off there. The new update also allows users to add a short bio and select up to 5 photos at the top of the page.
Well, that was pretty great. I think he did a good job, even though he got cut off. I think the message was relayed.
That's a fun feature. Sometimes I can't choose like a single photo to use.
I'm like, now you don't have to. And it's easy to just pick one and have 7 seconds to fill it. And the weather this week is going to be, well, kind of boring and kind of exciting, I guess. Come the end of this week, OU Texas is coming up. We do have some slight chances of some rain in the forecast, but we're going to be sunny by the end of the week.
Great. Thanks, Mandy.
Thanks for watching.
We'll see you back here.